Communication rate. Henry calls. The flop is King of Hearts, King of Diamonds, Six of Spades. Henry checks. David checks. The turn is Jack of Hearts. Henrik checks. David checks.
Well, Pomeroy flops the world here, flops the full house, and so far we've gone check, check, trap, trap to a river.
Henrik bets.
What a tough spot for me with the hand that I've checked twice and is definitely nothing.
I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll raise.
Yeah. I had to think about it for a while, but you know what? I'm gonna raise.
David raises 300,000.
5k chips, stacks of 20, each one 100k. That is 300,000. We have been checked down to a river. He's eating Doritos in the middle of the hand. And staring down his opponent with a smile. That Doritos dust now placed onto the cards, and they are folded. Gets away from it.
Pomeroy, that means apple of the Roy.
It was the Jack of Clubs. Goes on the button.
Man, Dorito dust sounds so delicious right now.
Roy is
Wah.
king in French, right?
Oh,
Pomeroy.
apple of the king.
King Apple. Apple King is comes from a long line of orchard.
Here comes old Joe Rafferty again
All in from Joe.
with the two-handed
Max up.
put him in.
Pain and anguish on the face of our decision maker. Hey, did this guy have a PokerStars t-shirt on?
It really looks like it says poker shares.
Called by King 8.
Which would
Gavatan
explain
calls with the King 8.
a lot about Mike McDonald if he's a time traveler. Ace high ahead, Rafferty the favorite to double up.
3 of Spades. 2 of Diamonds. 6
Will he double up or will he get done dirty again? The turn is an 8. Dirty is looking like it.
Big sigh of relief from Gavatan. He takes the lead on the turn and holds.
4 is not enough for Rafferty. That is it. Never recovered from that gnarly beat he suffered at the hands of David Pomeroy. Joe Rafferty out in 4th. 69,500 euros.
Leave it.
Can't bring him. He just can't bring himself to walk away. Three-handed now. Prize jumps go up a full 20,000 euros. Oh, which is PokerShare.com. That's a little too close for comfort for me, Craggy.
PokerShare.com.
PokerShare singular.
My circle is spinning.
Did you just click into a time warp?
I'm pretty sure these lads have run into some difficulties.
45,000.
The site cannot be reached.
Okay.
It was a good run.
Story checks out. Olander first to act on the button. Raises King 8. Pomeroy still to act. In the big blind.
David re-raises.
Re-raises with ace-jack suited. This seems all right.
All in and call.
Olander jams. Pomeroy calls. This went from seeming all right to seeming kind of unnecessary.
The flop is.
Yeah, some pretty wild play, and it might pay dividends. Olander with 2 pairs and another rise smile. Pomeroy, well, save your applause. Pomeroy still has the gut shot. 5 won't help him.
No help.
Can only hit the gut shot.
The river.
The river's a deuce. Pomeroy eliminated. Done. Out of here in 3rd place for 89,300 euros.
So we did catch a glimpse of Patrick Antonius on the rail, Joe, as well.
I wonder who he's sweating. Still 2 Swedes left. Maybe one of them. Henrik Olander heads up against Mats Gavitan. Yeah, they have about the same, I heard someone say.
Get on with it. Roughly.
10,000, 20,000, 2K ante.
And Olander heads up for the title. There can be only one EPT winner. Is that too much of a Crowbar Highlander reference, Joe?
I'm okay with it. I love a Crowbar reference. And I don't think these guys are super deep. I don't know how long this heads up will go on for unless they trade the lead back and forth. But Olander is way out in front at this point, chips-wise. Gavitan with 2 pair, way out in front in this hand. Olander drawing almost dead. Hasn't stopped him from betting. Looks like 80K. Here comes a raise.
Mats is raising to 200.
230. Oh yeah, the original bet was 100, so this raises to 230.
All in from Henrik and call.
Olander jams.
And Olander is wild, fearless, reckless, some might say.
Ace deuce.
It appears as if no one at this table has learned anything
Circle is an 8.
from their wicked ways. And Gavitan has Olander drawing dead on the turn. Full house. 7-star hand. And that's going to be a double up for Mats Gavitan. I wonder if it's enough for the chip lead. Doesn't quite look like it.
Mats calls.
Mats limps with 6-5. Are we going to see a slow play of the ace-8?
Henrik raises another 50.
Nope, it's a raise.
Olander certainly seems the raising type. This was the era of Scandinavian, dare I say, Swedish aggression. We're certainly seeing that on display at this final table. Ace-high flop favors Olander. Gavitan does pick up 2nd pair, though.
Are you saying it's the era of Swedish fish?
To a point.
Well, that's pretty sweet. Top pair for Olander. 2nd pair for Mats.
What is 440,000?
Bet and a call on the flop. 10 turn.
Yeah, barbecue sauce. They might not have Swedish fish candy in the UK. I might have said spread.
I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with it.
Like this comment from Spring. Come on, man. You have a pair. Why aren't the chips in the middle yet?
He's slow playing his find out where he's at equity. He might exercise it on the turn.
Henrik and I just all in.
Well, Olander all in with his top pair. Gavitan,
These guys know
none
that
too pleased.
you can just get to a showdown sometimes, right? Like you don't like just because you can go all in doesn't mean you have to.
Joe, it's heads up. Every hand is a duel. Every hand is a battle. If you are not contesting every single pot with any two cards, you're just letting your opponent run over you.
Good fold from Gavitan.
You're right. It almost feels the heads up matches in the early seasons feel a lot more personal. They feel like a real sort of gladiatorial thing where it's like I'm not going to lose any of the pots.
Where
like
folding is both losing but also somehow still losing.
Right. It's like a sign of cowardice or something. Like this 8-7-3 or whatever, and he's all in with the ace deuce. It's like you can just fold. That's a very important part of the game.
Like when you fold to someone and they're like, "Yeah, that's right."
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, okay, sure, it's fine.
That is right. That's exactly right.
Was the correct fold. Gavitan with pocket nines, pocket trays for Olander. And he is going to raise it up like he has got two aces.
Re-raise.
Spoke a little bit during one of the heads ups yesterday about or rather today earlier with the strength of an ace heads up. Similar was thought of a pair. You know, you've already been dealt a pair heads up. You play it very quickly, and that's exactly what we see here. Nines versus threes, all in commotion, a big shaking table as the rail leaps to its feet. Gavitan, a big favorite.
This is 6, no change.
2 outs once for Olander.
It's a 9, full house 9.
Just a 9 on the river secures the win for Gavitan. And that is not the end of this heads-up battle, but it is a big swing in one of the Swedes' favor.
Let's see, I think Gavitan may finally have taken the chip lead after that second double up.
1.5.
Yeah, and I think from Olander, we've seen two plays that maybe a little bit out of line from a 2020 perspective. At the threes might not be so bad. It does seem like a lot of chips to get in pre-flop, though.
I still don't think he has the chip lead. Look at all those stacks of blue.
And it raises.
Yeah, it's real close.
It's about the same.
50,000 more to play.
I think we are a lot closer to parity now, but maybe you're right. Seems like Olander came in with just such a huge lead that he's managed to lose two, to double him up twice and still be maybe even slightly ahead.
I think there was some chipping away in between the double up, too. So Gavitan dominated head to this flop, but does flop trip 8. And ace king is a hand that's pretty tough to get away from heads up.
Yeah, and especially on a board like this, as I just mentioned, a lot of the pairs get played very, very quickly in these heads-up battles. So if you strip out all of those pairs, assuming they re-raise pre-flop, then 8-8-4 becomes an even safer board for you because it's unlikely your opponent has 6s, 7s, 9s, 10s, certainly jacks, queens, kings, aces. So if Gavitan puts in a raise here or continues with action, he's basically saying he has an 8 or nothing, even more so than he would do in 2020 when some of those pairs might still be in his pre-flop calling range.
So Gavitan makes a large bet. Olander calls. We haven't seen a lot of large bet calling. It's usually just bet jam, but here we are on the turn, 6 of spades.
And the turn is pretty bad for Olander. Gavitan's going to improve sometimes if he was bluffing with a hand like 6-7 or 5-7. You know, those straight draws. Certainly a more connected turn. So the ace-king should be a bit more wary, but he's all in and snapped off by trips.
Let's see your hands. Showdown. Ace, king for Henry.
So from the numbers there, it looked like Olander had about 900,000 behind, 700 something for Gavitan. So yeah, this is not over. But now Gavitan has the size of the sort of chip lead size that Olander had going in. So 3 double ups.
Yeah. And all three potentially could have been avoided. Again, this is a strategy thing that we see a lot in these 2005 hands, that ace-king, good hand pre-flop, ignore the board. You're still going to, go all out with it despite not having hit. And another kind of, dare I say, punt, given what we understand now.
Pretty
sort of
punty.
Uncontrolled aggression, yeah.
A real PU next Tuesday.
And call. Entering now.
All in and a call.
All in. Yeah, it's Domination Nation. Ace-9 versus King-9. And if the statistics play out the way they're supposed to,
9 offsuit.
Gaviton will have
Ace-9.
doubled up 3 times to make a hell of a comeback
Here.
and knock Henrik Olander out of this tournament in second place.
3-7.
Things working out so far for Ace High.
You would need a king.
8-7 tray. Olander needs to hit a king,
3.
and he needs to hit
River cards.
on the river. The river card's a 5. It's over. Gavitan, what a comeback. Yeah,
Very
so
aggressive celebrations. You love to see it. And a huge reversal heads up, Joe, from overwhelming chip leader to busted in second place.
That guy would not be my friend anymore. Hello, my babies. Irish Open 2025. Main event day 3 brought to you by PokerStars and Paddy Power Poker, live from Dublin. 30 players remain, new feature table, and I am not gonna lie, I am a big fan of several of the players who have made it this deep. This is very exciting. No offense to the people I'm not gonna name here, but Soheb, huge fan of Spewheb. Mitchell Molinar, huge fan. Terrence Reed, huge fan. Carl Shaw, huge fan. This should be very entertaining. It's a weird stage of the tournament because they're so close to a massive first place prize, but really what's being paid now, look, is still good based on the buy-in, but it's gonna be real disappointing for people to go out at this point. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, I went out in 29th, I'm real happy.
Yeah, you might say that all these players would like to be Dublin.
That amount of money, yes, okay, sure, fine.
It's a Dublin joke.
I'm doing my
Dublin,
best, buddy.
Ireland.
I'm really doing my best to help you, but you gotta help yourself a little bit. Joe Stapleton, Griffin Benger,
Hey guys.
and David Doherty, who not only is an Irish Open champion, but has won the most coveted prize in all of Irish Open history, the Lotto.
I've won the largest lottery in Irish Open history, courtesy of my good friend Jamie Dwan.
1/7, let's specify. So your 1/7 is a little bit less than the current payout, which is 12,600 euros. All you guys are taking home 7,500 basically?
Yeah, roughly around there, but these guys have been playing poker for 3 days. I just put 200 quid in the
You just happen to be
the
standing
bag.
in the right place
Yeah,
where people
yeah.
decided to buy lotto
So how
tickets.
much did you get?
It was 52,000.
Oh, no way. Wow. What a
It
treat.
was a big bag of money too. They just hand you a garbage bag full of money.
Oh, that's fantastic. I should have bought those tickets after all.
I bought 2 and I regret nothing. At the last second, I got a guilt swap from Tonka. Right as they were pulling it, I was like, you want to swap 1%? He's like, I bought 40 tickets. I was like, I only bought 2. I'll give you 1% free roll. He was like, all right, fine.
Unfortunately, Joe, 1% of nothing is nothing.
That's all right.
You should have swapped with me.
I should have swapped with you.
Right up
Damn
there.
it!
This is my box. See the hat. No poker in there. You can I use this one?
No casino.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one each.
Oh, yeah.
100, 200?
So 2 levels left to play tonight.
Here.
We're going to stop at the end of those 2 levels no matter what. And then tomorrow we got to play down if it's 20 to a winner, 24 to a winner. It's going to be a long-ass day tomorrow, my babies. And Karim is going to start things off here with ace-9 offsuit under the gun.
You gotta take those chips out of the box. And
Yeah, I
you
will,
gotta scan your cards in that box.
Molinar out. This here is Ignatus Kirsis. Folds. TJ Reed, repping Poker.org.
I think you should be in that seat.
You gotta be in that seat.
I think TJ's
My
chasing leaderboard points in addition to going deep in this. David's nodding.
Yeah, yeah. I was speaking to him the other day in the Crackdown, and I think he's in the top 10 of the medium leaderboard right now, which is what the Irish Open qualifies for points in. So
All right.
he will be rocketing up the leaderboard even with this score.
Well, TJ and I had we're trauma bonded because we spent 27 hours at a slot machine together trying to hit a particular jackpot. And I wouldn't have got through it without him. So
This would be a pretty sharp shove. It is seven-handed. Karim effectively, one of the chip leaders at the table. But it's always a tough thing to do, sticking in those 19 big blinds from the small, facing under the gun raise.
Wow.
So the alternative is going to be a flat, which Reed goes with. I think you could go either way here, but certainly, I guess, more standard to flat the queen jack.
I'll tell you what, though, I think Carl Shaw will find it.
Yeah.
He's not a man who's shy about taking these
This is a real
situations.
juicy spot with Reed's sort of capped range. Not going to see a lot of traps from this position. And then, Kareem's going to have to be pretty loaded to call this shove. And sometimes that loaded is 2 10s and you win a big flip, Ace queen.
All in.
Yeah.
Shaw taking that spot. 3.2 million. Michelle Karim
The interesting
asking
thing
for a count.
The interesting thing about the Queen Jack suited spot is that you're just so rarely going to get called by hands that have you crushed. I mean, I know it's an under the gun range we're facing, but even Ace King, you're running off the shape against. You're probably getting folds from the likes of the Ace Jacks of the world, the Ace Tens of the world, as you mentioned, Griff. Like you're getting called by tens and nines maybe that you're in great shape against. But the other benefit is hands like King Jack suited behind you are going to have to find folds. So,
As well as, Ace Jack a lot of the time, like you mentioned. So that's a real nice to get 2 better hands to fold, to be sort of mostly flipping against some of the other calling range, and then getting a ton of folds from hands exactly like Ace 9, another hand that's beating you.
I think another part of this that people sometimes forget also, it's not just about the hands that are going to call you, but like the hands that are going to go post-flop against you. What kind of hands is Kareem going to steal with here but never call a jam? So something like King Queen, King Jack, you want those out of the pot. You don't want to go post-flop with them at this start.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
really good point.
And your range is kind of a bit face up. I mean, you're not calling the 10-9 suited really from the small blind here. It's so weighted to this exact kind of range of suited hands, in particular the Queen Jack suiteds, the King Jack suiteds, maybe a Queen 10 suited. You don't really even have sort of Ace 6, Ace 7 suited from the small in this spot. So you're kind of easy to play against.
Has Kareem been tanking a lot, or does he have history with Shaw? Because this is going beyond...
I was like, we've done a really good job of filling this time here. This
Yeah.
decision should have been made by now with Ace 9 offsuit. There it goes.
Yeah, that was going beyond hand funeral. That made me think he was actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Carl's got the better of him a couple of times and he's thinking about drawing a line in the sand or something, but not quite sure why he took so long to fold there.
I'm a natural-born contrarian, so when Shepherd's Bush Sage says these pointless tanks in live poker really grind my gears, I mean, Ace 9 was ahead, right? Maybe Ace 9 thinks they can make some kind of hero call against King Jack for a third of their stack. I don't know.
But I think we did make the most of that sort of dead time in that, really analyzing the
Yes, would you
that
like
Queen
a cookie?
Jack. No. It's making me think more about that spot. I think against strong opponents, maybe we actually just need to play that Queen Jack suited as a fold more than we do as a call. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a bit player dependent. It seems
Of
a bit
course
tight.
it is, yes. And I think that...
Can we ever just fold, I guess?
Well, I think that knowing Carl is the next player to act and he is capable of doing anything, right? That maybe you would be a little bit less likely to put that dead money in there. Yeah.
But he's still going to have to wake up with something pretty good in the big blind.
I think when you get to these stages where ICM's ramping right up as well, you just kind of don't want to be out of position post flop with shallow stacks. And like Carl is someone who's very capable post flop. So even though we saw him pile the king jack suited there, do you really want to play out of position versus Carl and under the gun when you have 17 blinds?
Yeah.
And you could so easily be dominated. So I personally wouldn't fold, but I do think folding might be better overall than flatting. Yeah. Just as an avoidance tactic almost. Like you're going to cooler yourself a little bit if the money starts piling in post.
So we've got Pontos, who's opened queen jack off from early. Shaw in the small blind this hand. His turn with the ace-9 off.
This is already really intricate. I mean, I could see Carl making this like he's going to fall, but I could see him making it like 1.1, 1.2, somewhere in that region. Maybe even a shade smaller, depending on how active Pontos has been.
A little less complicated. Karim out. The queen jack off raise getting through. Never going to be upset about that, I don't think.
I just love watching these tournaments at this stage. You know, like the likes of Carl has been here before and Michelle has been here before, but you know, it's really interesting to see how personalities affect decisions at this point. There's a lot of pressure on people. I was even chatting earlier with some friends about the payout structure, because obviously there's been a lot of kickback on the near double first place of second, and looking at the field and wondering, you know, I know Steve Dwyer's recently been eliminated, but thinking about who are the players left who might not deal in that situation, because when Steve Dwyer won this tournament, he had an enormous chip lead on the final table and busted every other player. And if someone like that makes the final table, maybe there won't be a deal.
Yeah, sure.
But I think more likely than not, there will be one.
I think that's exactly the way I would call it as well. Player and stack dependent, but without some sort of very specific situation, I think a lot of deals are going to happen. Ace-10 for Pontos this time.
Everyone was talking, bluffing, now they killed the vibe.
Players left, too.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't want to keep talking about it?
Why not?
How about a round of Guinness and Jameson? You think that'll
Told you I love TJ.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're in Ireland.
Let's do it.
They'll bring it to us. We can go hit. We can just leave and go hit the players' party for 30 minutes and then come back.
Players' party?
Just one time.
I think there's just a permanent...
Every night is a players' party
permanent
here.
players' party, yeah. Ace-6-5, top pair for Pontos.
It'd be nice to play some players while we're there.
No set, no bet for Parbin Darwala. Not going to lie, love Soheb. Didn't know his last name until today.
But that would have been your first guess.
100%. Soheb is checked. Pontos continues for 300,000. Deuces fold. Still 30 players left in this field. And it bears repeating. Probably can't say it enough. 4,562 total entries in this event. Just a staggering number of players. And by the way, this is not an unlimited re-entry event either. It's easy to hit, easier, I should say, to hit these numbers. It's not easy to hit these numbers no matter what. But this is a one re-entry per flight event, right?
Yeah. It's difficult to bag even.
Which bullet did you do it on? Which day?
Number 3.
Same.
So I tried 7 times last year, didn't make it through, but Yeah, we got our second ever Irish Open cash
Nice.
this year.
Same.
In our group chat, late Friday night, Sam was like, nobody told me this is one re-entry per flight. I'm fuming. And I didn't know if he was joking or not.
Definitely not joking.
Yeah, right? Like, I was like, oh, man, I would be pretty mad myself if I thought I could just, like, you know, on
Blast
Friday.
off on the
Yeah,
Friday,
right.
spend time with the girl the other
Right,
days.
exactly.
This is a spicy little open from TJ in the hijack off of 17 blinds. The ace blocker does have some relevance.
Yeah, it gets away with it. I think it was a bit too loose for my tastes,
Yep.
but doesn't change the fact that some of the time it is going to work out.
Got a very poignant comment here from Def Monk, who says, today I brought up the fact that Castor says, I really hope Rosaline wins. She is my second favorite. Less than 20 minutes later has announced that she was eliminated. I have noticed the same thing every time I am in this stream. I have been on a timeout for 20 minutes, then another 10 minutes, but I see this over and over again here. All the while the casters are mocking the chat and saying how we need more viewers and want new poker players to be part of the community. Sorry if I offended anyone.
You're banned.
How'd you know, Griff?
Good guess.
Enjoy another 10 minutes timeout.
We got a copy pasta going on as well.
Oh,
so
yeah,
make
no,
sure
that-
you don't,
that's way more insulting.
Yeah. Make sure you don't ban the wrong person.
Oh, no, I think that was the first one, but yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, no, I got the original.
The Mickey one.
I haven't seen that yet, but only because I feel like I love Moon. And it feels like a really similar concept to Moon.
It's not. I've seen Moon.
It's not a guy there's carbon copies of him and...
Well, now you're spoiling Moon. But yes, it's quite different.
I have tickets for Sinners already.
I saw it today.
You saw it today here in Dublin?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I actually requested the early shift.
Oh,
and
is
late
that
shift
why
to
you
go see
worked it
Sinners.
this way?
I couldn't wait. I was so... Yeah, it was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
This could get
Sorry
in,
to hype it
guys,
up too
by the
much.
way, because
Karim opening from the cutoff. I got you, David.
Yeah.
Michelle Molinar, who, by the way, is on a crazy spin up, was down to 6 big blinds. At what point?
Yeah, Karim hasn't snapped yet. This feels a bit too standard for me not to flick in the 17 bigs. He is going to find the call.
given the fact he took so long with ace-9 off as well, it feels like he's just never... And I don't think he necessarily should fold versus Michelle either.
Domination situation. Once again, Molinar with the best of it.
It's a Michelle off.
It is a Michelle off, absolutely. Like Michelle versus Michelle, one of these two things has a wide advantage. No jack on the flop. Molinar now up to 85% of the equity in this pot. Turned card. Also not a jack, although now some opportunities.
You ever done a chop pot? Oh, wow.
I've commentated 5 or 6 times in here, Griff. I've never seen a chop
Well,
pot.
today's your lucky.
Oh, that is not a chop pot. That is a brutal, brutal suck out.
Molinar.
Molinar, absolutely. Oh, man. Michelle on Michelle violence. And
Jack too, huh? Ace Jack.
Jack 9.
Michelle Kareem seems to regret nothing.
Tell you what, man, that's a rough river.
Winning hand.
If that happened to me, I'd be a Michelle of my former self.
Absolutely. Michelle shocked.
You're getting the blame of that in chat,
Play
Griff,
like his aces.
for asking whether I'd ever
You're gonna
signed the
get there
chop
every
pot
time
song
it doesn't
before.
Yeah.
30th place
did
finish
curse
is
that
what it's
river.
looking like for Michelle Molinar.
Painful on the river.
You could feel it.
Yeah,
I don't think that one's going to make the Twitter bio. 30th place finisher Irish Open.
Using any karaoke
Probably not, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge feat to make it this far,
it's
but
a-
you're going
yeah.
to be just... Who's going to be happy with that?
He's made it further than that before as well.
That's right. That's right.
He finished, I think, 17th or something when I went a little deeper a couple of years ago. I just realized I was going to accidentally mention
Oh,
myself,
dude, I do
so-
that all the time. Chris
Yeah.
Dowling was on during my shift. I wouldn't stop mentioning how he got third when I won.
Here's a comment written by Karev, and definitely not ChatGPT. Although Molinar was eliminated, I'm happy for him. His journey to success began with a win at the Festival Series Bratislava 2022 event, and he hasn't looked back since.
Wow, little origin story.
Little ChatGPT help,
Yeah,
it feels like there.
Real sweet.
Yeah, Michelle got slow rolled out that year as well. So that's
Oh, wow.
2 very painful bust outs for him at the deep
Wait,
end
that
of
was...
this one.
Is that the Lappin slow roll?
No, it wasn't Lappin though. It was an English lad who Michelle had top 2 against the straight, and he took like 30 seconds to call the turn.
Oh, knit roll. Not.
No, it was a nut straight.
to take 12 seconds.
Oh.
It was the nut straight on like a non-flush, non-paired board. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, full on slow roll.
I have been thinking lately about how I'd like to work in some slow rolls, like how I could get away with it and people would actually be okay with it. Sometimes I slow roll the all-in showdown, where if someone calls me and they turn over ace queen, I go, "Oh, you have me," and then I have ace king. Everyone laughs. If it's like I'm all in for 10 bigs, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. The hardest part about slow rolling someone is having the best hand, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's really hard to have the best hand. Like, one day I'll have it and I'll be like, ooh, should I slow roll?
Oh, this is a joke about how you never get lucky.
It's just really hard to have such a good hand that you can slow roll someone, don't you think?
I actually slow rolled someone in Glasgow, so like where I live. There was a series on a couple of weeks ago, and was having a couple of beers, like having fun, and got it in blind v blind, and I had kings, and I decided to slow roll my friend, and took a little time calling,
and
he had aces.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Brian O'Sullivan says, can you guys introduce yourselves so I can Google's use? Hey, Brian, how about this? Why don't you tune in at the beginning when I say our names? You banned.
They just have, at Griffin Benger on Twitter. I just recently slipped under 10K, so if you could just...
Oh, you're
give me
losing
a follow.
followers, huh?
Yeah, I don't tweet, really.
Yeah. I wish I didn't.
Pretty close in New Jersey. They have
Most of my followers wish I didn't.
And then in Pennsylvania, they have like legalized online as well.
28 players left.
By the way, I want you to know that bit I did about giving my Twitter. It will get me like 4 new followers.
Right now,
that was
yeah.
actually a shill.
I used to do this thing in the beginning where I would go, guys, every time someone follows me on Twitch, I get like an email about it, and it's super annoying. So if you guys could just like not...
You did not do that
If
to
you guys
get
could
me.
just not follow me on Twitch, like it's... Oh my! It's just constantly. No, please stop! Like it's just bugging me, pinging my phone constantly. Pocket Jacks for Pontos.
Okay.
Hard Rock.
Oh, Florida,
Yeah, Florida.
Florida's nice.
Big?
Yeah, Florida's a big.
Was this flag Uruguay?
They have I think 2 WPC.
That's Greece, right?
Greece. Yeah, that makes more sense.
That famously Uruguayan surname, Pontos.
Yeah, it could be Uruguayan.
Let's
look at. Let me see the Uruguay flag and see how far off I was.
It's pretty close, to be fair.
Oh yeah! Come on. It's a sun instead of a cross.
Pretty sure it's Uruguayan.
Oh, okay. You have kids?
Hey guys, look at this country.
Uruguay. Uruguay.
Like the ace.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we have got some severe action developing. Cursus has 3-bet King 9 offsuit on the button for a reason.
I don't even hate it. It's against the table chip leader. You have a good blocker. A hand that's not, it's. I think the 3-bet's okay.
It's
not
against the second chip leader.
It's against a guy that has a lot of chips that might be raising off. I just don't think it's that. I think that we're just being hand-oriented here by seeing the fact. I mean, Reed could have had ace-10 here and fold. Pontos just could have had queen-jack and fold.
I said a
sometimes
reason.
you go for something and it doesn't work. Yeah.
I said a reason.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit spicy. I think the
It's
issue
spicy. Oh, yeah.
I have with it as well is like it's a little bit too small in this setup. There isn't enough ICM right now to be going sub 5 bigs with,
Yeah.
with a 3-bet versus the chip leader. So you're not buying too much fold equity. Anyway.
975. It is raised 975.
I do think this has to go in though again in these positions. You're not thrilled with jacks, but I think 10s is sending it. I think 9s is possibly sending it here.
4 million.
Yeah, I think that Pontos is going to read the room. Put the rest of the chips in.
Okay, all right, sure.
Last time you said it's 4.9.
3.9.
Really? Okay.
I don't know, play it back.
How much we play about?
6 more. 6 more.
Pontos pondering. I simply don't know how you can get away from
Pontos.
jacks here.
Pontificating.
That's right.
If he is genuinely thinking about it, it's just one of these situations that occurs at the deep end of these fields. Like, you know that the chances of you being here again in the near future are very slim. You're enjoying being in the tournament. You also don't want to risk, like, you know, a good third of your stack and run into it. And, you know, that good feeling that you've developed from building up the 11 million stacks.
His energy to me
goes.
says fold.
I think it does too, Griffin. Yeah, I mean, I would not fold. I know I can see the cards. I wouldn't fold here, but I kind of agree with you. I think he is going to fold. And I just want to say that Benny Glaser in chat called that like 2 minutes ago. So
I have a really good race teed up for this one, so I hope he calls. It's really great. No, it's not. Uruguay versus Greece. Patrick. You're fired.
Oh, that's the fold signal. Oh, no, he's just picked them up. I can feel it. Oh, he's going to throw
It's
them up.
folding
Oh, he's
energy.
sliding. Oh, he's not even sliding them. He's slapping them down.
good call, everyone. And now Cursus is going to... No, he's not.
Curses is going to walk the dog.
Curses.
He's already put $1 million out there. What's another 2.4, man?
Shepherd's Bush Sage says a Uruguayan would have called there.
I mean, usually a Greek calls as well, to be fair.
And check it out, my babies. Another frickin' superstar arrives at this already stacked table. Ian Banana Hammock Simpson. Is that a banana on your rail, or are you just glad to see us?
I watched the stream back when Ian busted me steps the other day, and I heard you make that joke like 3 times.
Yeah. Get ready for at least 6 more. It's a long stream, buddy. Like to see you bring it fresh.
Yeah, I'd love to see Ian win this tournament again. He famously final tabled it back-to-back, won it the second time. Proposed to his wife when he won it. And I've already asked him what he's planning to do to her this year if he wins it again. But I don't think he has a plan yet.
Well, his plan is to raise this hand. Oh, Lappin's taking issue with something here. He's stumbled backstage. We got the good David here now, David.
It's a David off. It's a David off.
Cool water. Simpson wasting no time trying to grab the wheel here. Unfortunately, he's going to run into a much better hand. Curses.
Curses, no.
You know what? The King 9 off is a little spicy, but he's made it exactly the same size with queens.
Balance, baby. Joe. Yeah, Sinners has been reverberating in my body. The music, everything.
Is it a musical?
No, the music.
Okay,
music,
the
blues,
score.
The score, yes.
Okay. I have tickets to see it in IMAX in London on Wednesday.
Yeah. That recommendation also goes to you, David Dockery. Sinners, new Ryan Coogler film.
Do you watch a lot of
year.
movies, Detox? Because every year we're looking for someone to come on and just talk movies with us. Like, it's funny to have a really good poker player, like, just talk movies and TV.
I have movie knowledge, but not as much as I would like. I mean, when I listen to you guys or like I watch James's like videos or whatever, I'm like,
at some point in the next 5 years, you're going to watch Sinners, and you're going to remember when I insisted to you that you should have watched it.
Right, because everyone else is sleeping on Sinners.
yeah.
No, but if he's not a big movie buff, he might not be.
I haven't watched a lot of movies in recent years, but like there are certain movies that I know inside out. Like I could tell you.
Yeah, I've seen that one,
little
the Disney one.
detail of it,
Inside Out,
the cartoon. About the feelings.
I'm always dropping Big Lebowski references in the group chat. And
Never
like,
seen
not,
that.
Not a lot of people
We
have
talked
seen
about
it.
this.
Yeah.
You've never seen the Big Lebowski?
We've talked about this.
It's like it's a given that if you like want to be a movie nerd, you have to have seen it.
I've watched it like
We all have
37 times, and I pick something new up every time I watch it.
We all have gaps.
Shaw all in over the top of this open from Reed. Maybe Shaw's just picking on TJ. And another king-queen is going to get folded by Sohab.
Yeah, and Reed going to find himself with the bottom of his call range consideration cut off to button. I think, ace-queen, we just snap call it off. Ace-jack off, we sort of side call most of the time. Ace-10, things get a little bit dicey. I think we still need to call a percentage of the time here, but it doesn't have to be now.
So when I went to film school, like the meme of the time was that everyone had the same two favorite movies.
Shawshank
and
Pulp
Big,
Fiction.
and Big Lebowski.
It was Ace Jack, I would have put it in.
What are your favorite movies?
Better than
Shawshank
Ace.
Redemption, Big Lebowski.
Then Kings, definitely. You don't want to let that go, do you?
Usual Suspects was up there too.
Yeah,
that used to
That
be
was one of my favorites.
until Mr. Stacy.
Until a certain cancellation, yeah.
Wait, what happened to Kevin Spacey?
Well, he's back. He's in the Tim Dillon special. I don't know if you saw.
No.
He used to be quite active in the YouTube chat, and then States banned him, and he got
God,
cancelled.
no!
There you go. Thank you.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Wait, the American Beauty guy? We lost him? This guy's got to keep me up with this stuff.
The Swimming with Sharks guy. Okay, Pancho Perez, welcome to Bansville. Thank you for your comment.
It's funny you said that, Steps, because I think The Big Lebowski is in my top 2 favorite movies. So maybe I should have gone to your film skill.
You know what's weird is I don't rate it. I love the Coen brothers, and I think The Big Lebowski's fine.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Oh, you weren't friends.
And it's one of those movies that I watched. Ace Tray suited versus King Tray suited. There's a 3 and a spade and a heart.
I remember being in here before, and I dropped a really niche Casino Royale reference, and James lit up. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I know how to pull the strings, you know.
I thought that I was a big James Bond fan until I met him. And he's like, well, actually, in the 4th draft of the script, it was this. And I was like, what? Sohab checks, gets bet into by Pontos. And Sohab does have him out-kicked. Strange as that may be with bottom pair. And another spade on the turn.
Check. How are we feeling about a little Carnage 3 or Carnage Ace of Spades on the river here?
No comment. $400,000 the bet from Pontos. I mean, maybe we don't get to the river despite Sohab having 74% of the equity. Hero value in there. Well, this is a weird barrel. I love a good post oak. Does that apply here?
Post oak?
Post oak bluff. Does, right? Yeah, okay. I'm from that era. I should be able to say Post Oak. Yeah.
Technically, I didn't win the raffle, Jay, but I was part of the syndicate.
What if Jamie's just like later?
Well, we left him playing the mystery bounty with the bag of cash under his table, so I think we're rotating on who's keeping an eye on him, just in case he makes a run for it.
That reminds me, I big timed picking up my cash amount after I cashed them in.
Did anybody inspect?
You've not cashed it in yet, no?
No. Saw a line of 4 people. I was like,
Excuse me.
I need to do this.
Wait, did you not use the champions line?
There's a champions line?
Yeah, there's a separate champions line. You just push the guys aside and say,
You're joshing me.
You know who I am?
Oh, yeah.
Might be a high-tech banana.
I think. Sure, that banana does lots.
It reminds me of my favorite skit in Impractical Jokers. I'm sure I've told this anecdote
What's
to
my
Joe
highlight?
before. You ever heard of the show Impractical Jokers?
I was joking.
Nope.
So it's basically just like a prank show where a bunch of buddies prank each other. You know Impractical Jokers.
You did it to me.
Which one?
Remember in Malta?
The line cutting thing?
No, in Malta, we did Impractical Jokers where you and Fatima were in my ear making me do stuff to strangers.
So it's like we do say something in his ear and he has to do something, and there's, they're like competing against each other. These this group of 4 friends. But my absolute favorite sort of setup they have is they have to get to the front of the line at for tickets for Broadway in New York, and there's lines just like through freaking Times Square. It's like impossible to get through. Whoever can get tickets first, and they all start at the beginning. First person does the whole scam of like putting the hand up, being like, "Hey, Dave," trying to get to the front. Eventually, someone spots him, like kicks him out. Finally, the one person that gets all the way to the front of the line is someone that just busts through and says, "Excuse me, sorry, I don't wait in lines. Sorry, I don't wait in lines." And it just, by creating his own reality, he gets to the front. It was just my favorite thing.
Hey, shot. Yeah. You got a shot.
Confidence
Very
is
lucky.
the.
They shot. You don't have better, right? No.
Karam 3-bets this over from Shaw.
I mean, Carl did just tell Kareem what he had in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
But only if you're smart enough to realize it, which I was. I definitely knew what he was saying. I heard that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm impressed.
I mean, I also had the graphics, but
Yeah.
I
But that
would have
didn't play
known.
into
I
it.
would have
Yeah.
known. Yeah. $28 players still in this thing. Pay jump at 27. And the current payout, $12,600. You go up about $2,000 more, $1,900 more if you can hang on one more spot.
$425.
Ponto's going to open on the button. Curses with 7 deuce suited. You got to call any suited cards, right? In the big blind, that's what they tell me.
2 minutes. Can I fold now?
They
or
do
should I
start to
hang?
disappear sometimes when the ICM ramps up. But,
Sure. I wouldn't know about that.
So yeah, this is fine. I think giving these specific ones up.
I'm
is
gonna
totally
rattle
fine.
off right now. By the way, a bunch of Coen Brothers movies I rate ahead of The Big Lebowski.
God, if you say freaking Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh brother, where art?
Oh brother, where art thou? I rate above Lebowski. Blood Simple. Fargo.
Dumb and Dumber.
Different brothers, but excellent. No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, of course. That's,
Yeah, No Country's no contest.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say because I do
True
love
Grit?
Lebowski, but
Wow, True Grit. That's a nice deep cut. That one's good.
I like True Grit quite a bit.
Was that Haley Steinfeld?
You know what? It might have been.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
She's all grown up. She's a sinner now.
Oh,
Go
that's
see
right.
Sinners.
She's in Sinners. Yeah. It all comes back to Sinners.
Yeah. Movie of the year. Go see it, guys.
Shaw
Gals.
opening this pot with the nom noms.
Nom nom.
I mean, that's a fair comment in chat, Joe. You named a lot of good movies there, waiting for the bad one. Like, if all of those movies are better than The Big Lebowski, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not a great movie.
Oh no, I'm just saying it doesn't. I don't think it's not good. It's just not. I don't rate it as a.
You know,
it's not anywhere in my top 20, 50 even.
You know, it's the worst Coen movie. Drive Away Dolls.
That's
Couldn't even
one.
get
That's
through
one
it.
Coen. and
I know,
I
but
actually
it's still
really
a-
liked Drive Away Dolls.
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't get through it on the plane.
I liked Drive Away Dolls quite a bit.
Huh.
I'll tell you some of the Coen Brothers movies I didn't like. I didn't like The Man Who Wasn't There very much.
Well, the whole time you're just trying to find the man. He's never there.
And I haven't seen every Coen Brothers movie. Like I haven't seen Inside Llewellyn Davis, and I've heard that's very good. Raising Arizona, I like better than I like The Big Lebowski.
Wow, we got a double nod from Lappin and Hartigan there on the rail.
People sleep on Blood Simple, which is like one of their earliest movies, and I think that one's like really great. I think Fargo is probably my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
See, this is the problem.
Even Hail Caesar I thought was pretty fun.
Okay, don't mention that when it comes. The poor guy comes in here and says the only movie that he watches is The Big Lebowski. Watches 30 times, and then you just named every other movie by the director
I know.
that you like
I
more
don't
than
know
The
what to
Big
tell ya.
Lebowski.
I mean, I'm literally
That's messed up.
surrounded by movie nerds.
I tell you what, I didn't get
I
through
don't have much chance.
Hamlet or whatever it is they did recently, the black and white Shakespeare adaptation. I made it.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine was in it, and I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, but
so.
I just mean it's like don't pick on the new kid. You know, I came in here talking about Sinners. You weren't like I haven't seen Sinners yet, but Fruitvale Station couldn't be better than that, huh? Black Panther 2.
Actually, I didn't really like Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, but that movie only had one Michael B. Jordan. Sinners has two.
TJ Reed with A6 on the small blind has raised Carl Shaw. A dicey proposition.
It's quite interesting, this, because the ace-6 off could play as a jam at this depth, but it is very, very nervy to do it.
Yeah.
And I do think you want to be coming in with a raise fairly often. It was a very small raise size.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah.
Let's go 725, 750.
Yeah.
We have news from the outside world. Breffney Smith, who was involved in just about every music track, every hand, when he was at the featured table, has been dispatched. Started the level with 9.8 million, and in a matter of 40 minutes has been sent to the rail. So we're down at 27.
That was an Irish gentleman, yeah?
Was repping an American flag, but his name was quite Irish.
Well, I was going to say, I just want to say that is one of the most outrageous names I've ever seen, and I love it.
Breffney Smith. Oh,
Breffney.
We actually are down to 26 now. Dale Hancock out in 27th. It's one of the funnier names left in the field. All we got left is Woodhead now.
Steven?
Oh, I don't know.
Steven, yeah.
Steven's one of my good friends. He's still in?
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Oh
great
my
friend,
God.
buddy. The shock in your voice that he's still in. You must
I
keep
always,
in close touch with
we
him.
always swap. He has a piece of me in my World Series man. I didn't even get a
you
swap
swap
here.
with Woodhead.
Yeah.
Pontos with a couple of queens has made it 400,000. Curses has ace-10 suited, is going to flat from the cutoff. TJ is going to ditch the 10-6 on the button. Shaw not going to play for deuce. Karam 7-4 off. 7-4 awful.
Hancock was just eliminated. Steps. Do we have any more left in the field whose surname is a movie that we can review?
Was not a Hancock fan. I think, aren't they working on Hancock too? Wasn't that announced a long time ago? And Karam is going to come along for the ride. Okay.
Ian Simpson was very good in the early seasons, but in recent times, not so
right,
much.
yeah, no, everyone was the first 5 seasons.
Wow,
for sure.
juicy flop.
King
For everyone.
7, 2 clubs for Cursis, a 7 for Karam, and who needs the board when you got 2 queens?
Yeah, Karam really shouldn't be in at this stage, even covering both these guys with the 7-4 off. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if the action gets to him.
I can't wait till the 7 peels off. Because I like to play results. It checks around. Flush on the turn for Cursus. Queens with not a lot going on right now. No, very little chance of catching up. And it's Karam who's going to bet here. Did I sense a snicker there? Was there a little chuckle?
It came from me, Stapes, yeah. Like, it's, these are 600,000 chips he's not seeing again. I don't think he realizes just how strong these two ranges are. I mean, all right, Pontos can be wider from his stack size +1, but Cursus is going to be very condensed around this sort of part of the board and suited hands when he's peeling the cutoff off of 30 bigs. So I feel like this bet is not only unlikely to get through 2 players, but he's also going to face a difficult river decision quite a lot.
Let's not sugarcoat it, David. This is a miserable bet.
You can always count on Griffin. He really does not care.
No, I just think he's better than this bet. I think it's just a really high. I mean, look, it's easy to say because we can see, Kyrgios happens to have the ace-10 of clubs, Pontus the queens, but I mean, you're really hoping that both of your parent opponents share an ace-jack that doesn't have a club or something, and you can get this through.
This pot's getting real big, and we are gone all the way to the river, which is the ace of hearts. Doesn't change much for Cursus. Pontos now with another overcard to contend with. I guess same for Karam, who, look at this. Can we praise him for his check now? Can we?
Let's see what he does.
Can we right.
The hand might not be over yet. Who knows? Yeah, I think Cursus is going to look incredibly strong when he bets this river. As I mentioned on the turn, he's very condensed around this part of the this part of the board. He called versus facing a bet and a call. I don't think he peels many offsuit hands from the cutoff at this depth. Maybe he could have an ace-jack with the ace of clubs, but that just has showdown now. So is he going to turn... Is he ever going to have queen-jack off, you reckon, Griff, in the spot?
No, I don't think he does. He rarely, if ever, flats it pre.
Yeah. So with my perception here that this is never a bluff, I mean, certainly that size, but like, if he bets this river, I don't think he's ever bluffing, just based on how his range is constructed. So he's not getting this call, but Cursus doesn't know what the cards are. He's targeting a king here. He thinks there's a good chance one of these guys has a king-queen or a king-jack or something, and he can get paid, but I don't think he's ever getting this value bet paid 3-way.
Yeah, let's pour a little out for the homies for the queens here, right? This is sad. This is a sad ending for pocket queens. No, Griffin, no sympathy, nothing.
I mean, 3 big blinds are bet on the turn. By the river, it's just sometimes...
Whoa, I thought it was a terrible... What did you call it?
Miserable.
Miserable.
No, the bet was miserable. I'm saying that he only lost 5 big blinds in the hand when the board was king,
but
ace.
emotionally, you see queens. You're
I'm
going to
won't
win this hand.
Oh no, he won't recover from that.
Yeah, very reasonably played by the queens, but facing that size bet on the river, it's a pretty trivial fold, I think. 3-way, especially. Is Step Brothers a Coen Brothers movie?
It sure isn't.
No.
It's an Adam McKay.
The legend.
The legend Adam McKay, for sure. At his peak.
Adam McKay did Step Brothers, did Anchorman, did the other guys.
Oh, the other guys is right up there for me.
Oh yeah, no, it's a top 5 comedy for me.
Actually, one of my favorite all-time poker lines was when somebody punts, as I just go aim for the bushes.
Yeah.
Spalva. Galvojau, gal tas gribuk storage na valėt.
Shaw with a very good hand on the button and has gotten through the small blind. Spewheb, as they call him, with 4 high.
Showdown.
Raise and take it. Just the way I like it.
Oh, you almost got that thing
I didn't
muted,
get,
Joe. It was
didn't
close.
get to the mute button in time.
No,
I
you
missed
didn't
it.
get there.
Yeah, brutal.
Oh, yeah, that does. Clip that, someone. That's the cash?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so dumb. You guys are such
It's-
luck boxes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've just been sent a picture of the
Wonderful.
lottery win. It's beautiful.
And also a ransom note. I didn't puke. Dot check, Bartecki. A little cough. Still embarrassing though.
Could I get 5 once, please?
Yeah.
You want to change from the bathroom?
Bathroom?
Excuse me, French.
Go to the bathroom.
Could I get 5 once, please?
Simpson trying to get some change on the table. There's 8 big blinds. You know, someone once asked 50 Cent in an interview what 50 Cent means.
Uh-huh.
Play your blind.
You know what he said?
Mr. Blind as well?
It represents change.
All right.
I have to have the stacks.
Is that real or is that...
I think it's real, yeah. I mean, I tell it like it's real. I didn't make it up. I heard it somewhere.
Is that a real tweet where he complains about having to take the trash out at his grandma's house?
I think it is,
That
yes.
seems real, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did change the game, guys. Think about it.
I'm sorry, Fofty. Remember that when Randall Emmett owed him money and 50 called him out and Randall like tweeted, "I'm sorry, Fofty."
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Google it. Come on.
That's hysterical.
Soheb with a chance to open this pot from the button, ace 5.
Oh, can we get this comment banned from Envision HS? Yes, best movies make you think. Laughter is briefly consumable.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the insta ban. You
I'm
can't
so
say
glad
that
you
with a
noticed that.
comedian
What a
on
turd.
the. You can't say that
Get
with a
outta
comedian
here.
on the
You
horn
just hear
here.
him pushing up his glasses.
Yeah,
as he said it.
yeah. I heard it all the way from Ireland, bud.
Ugh.
Briefly consume that ban.
I think that was Hartigan's burner.
Yeah.
I think all three of us saw that at the same time.
Yeah, no, that was unacceptable.
Simpson has defended Queen 5. King Jack 7.
Pretty miserable flop.
Soheb gets to continue ace high and wins. I don't know. That sounds like someone speaking Uruguayan to me. Jay Diaz says, I'm about to jump into the mini Sunday special, 7K guaranteed on PokerStars in 17 minutes. Let's go, Jay. Good luck. Good luck. Hope none of your bets are miserable. Eric Carbon says, is the 1K referring to the entry fee or the grand prize? Because that would be a tiny grand prize. What do you think, Eric? You're banned. Waste my time. Action's folding around to Pontos. Trying to win the 1,000 euro grand prize here. Makes it 400K with King Queen. Small blind folds. Big blind. What say you? Yeah, let's go. 10-8. Everybody loves 10-8. All right. Stand corrected. The first time I've ever gotten something wrong on stream. Mark it down. Are we rolling on this? Can we take that again?
Sign.
Might be.
Brian O'Sullivan says, harsh on the bands. Who's the Scottish guy?
Asia.
See what I do with it.
David Doherty is the Scottish guy. We have 2 former winners of this event in the booth right now. Me and which one? No, it's David and Griffin have both won this event before. David more recently when the game was a little harder.
And there were way more players.
But somebody has to win too, right? It's not really, you know what I mean? Like no matter what, someone's gonna win. Doesn't mean they're better than you.
I kind of skimmed the rules, actually.
Why don't you play it next year, Steps, and then we could have a little hat trick in the booth?
Oh, I don't know why. It's like James got to play that one year, and then after that, everyone was like, just forgot about letting the commentators play.
James just used your bullets for the following
yeah,
year.
they're like, sorry, Stapes. Maybe next time around. Some hand shaping up here. Karam is open relatively early with ace-7. Ace-jack suited from Soheb is a call. Pocket nines for Pontos. Is this a spot where more money goes in and not just calling money?
It should, because you really don't want to be capped in these spots with observant opponents behind. I know nines is still a strong hand, but you generally don't want to be the second caller here because you're never doing that with aces. You're never doing that with ace-king. You're never doing it with queens. So when you're the second caller, anyone observant behind you is going to pick on that.
It is. I totally appreciate what you're saying, but you're kind of also then, you know, I mean, you're not necessarily wanting to play for 60 big blinds here with nines, right? So there is the concern that you're then effectively, were we to see more action, aggressive action from Karim, turning this hand into a bluff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. But I guess that's just the price you pay. I mean,
well, the thing is, you're protected within your 3-betting range, right? You've got all the strong hands in there. Your calling range is not protected, so you're just binned versus a 3-bet behind you, right? So it just becomes very awkward to play. He's disguised here in the sense that they don't know he's as weak as nines, but he can certainly still have aces, kings, or whatever.
So more money has gone in. It's 1.2 million. From Pontos. We're back to Karam. Rohan says, pronounce Porbandar Walla, please. No.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you for your comment.
Miserable is the word of the hour. It is miserable feeling like you have to 3-bet nines here, but I do think it's the correct play.
Karam is out. Back on Porbandar Walla.
And you know, if we have a hand like 7s or 8s, we can just bin it if we want as well. We don't have to, like, you know, do that with everything. We are still facing a +1 open and a hijack call, so
Soheb, we know an ace and a jack have been folded, so in a little bit worse shape than usual. 2 spades on the flop and a big pair, all of which are favorable for ace-jack of spades. Soheb checks.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting runouts on this one.
I'll say.
The squeeze was on the smaller side as well,
Quite
so I don't think it's impossible for the hijack to still have a hand like Queen Jack suited.
Come on, Ian. Get it together.
I would expect a lot of small continues here from Pontos, but it could get dicey, this hand down the streets.
We do have Koiju noticing that the stars nuts never fail, as Pontos does put out a continuation bet with the 2 9s. 800K.
Good. How are you?
And these are 2 decent stacks. Porbandar Walla with about 35 bigs. Pontos with 45. Everyone calling for the 9 of spades. These are sadists.
check raise immediately.
Check raise.
3 in the house.
And I think this might work immediately, by the way, because
it's pretty hard to continue with nines here, is it not?
A out of position player is, I'm not pronouncing his surname, chat. He is blocking value here. He's blocking, even though he's got the nut flush draw, he's blocking aces, he's blocking jacks, he's blocking queen jack, he's blocking ace queen. And Pontos, just with this bluff catcher with no spade in hand, his opponent's already saying he's got a queen or better, basically. Do you want to start putting a million chips in the middle?
Yes, we do. Soheb immediately looks away, by the way, when he sees those chips coming out.
I do think it's okay to continue here, but like it is getting very, very dicey. We're now playing with an SPR of under 1.
That is correct. Soheb has less than pot behind. 10 on the turn. Another overcard for the nines, a straight card for ace jack. It's a card that can potentially counterfeit the pocket nines.
I think we just go all in here and close our eyes.
Yeah, and just hope that our opponent has somehow exactly this.
And there it is. So it is written, so it shall be done, Soheb. And Ponto is asking for a count like he is not ready to ditch these 2 nines.
Yeah, that was someone that was
amped.
Yeah.
Rolling their sleeves up.
Not buying it.
Now his mouth's drying out a little bit, as tends to happen in these situations.
Yeah, okay. If we want to delve into the world of live reads or energy at the table or whatever,
please.
You can always come up with reasons to justify hero calls in any spot if you delve into that kind of thing. But what are we hoping to see here if we call? This is maybe the best case scenario, and we have 58% with heaps of chips in the middle and 600k up top. If we're wrong, we've got 5% equity.
And I think it's okay to eliminate a lot of, it's not like your opponent's just because he has ace jack of spades doesn't mean he has all the way down to ace deuce 3 4 of spades. These aren't necessarily hands that flat pre call a squeeze despite how small it was. So you're really limited to king jack of spades, ace jack of spades, maybe a king jack of diamonds or an ace jack of diamonds that got frisky on the flop.
Is the 10 of spades ever in there?
Not when he jammed.
Not when it just wouldn't make much sense to jam, really. It's like...
I wasn't asking that. Someone in chat was. Yeah, that's just
I think if he had ace 10 of spades, he would start checking on the turn. It's like, can Pontos be ahead here? Yes, and we can see that he is, but how far ahead? It's like, this could be a life-changing hand. Do you want to call it off and hope that you have 58% equity, but you might have 5?
Yeah, and also something to consider, and this is an important surname thing. You don't want to call here on TV, be up against king queen suited, and then be known as Puntos.
Yeah,
right. It's really important to think of these things.
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes.
And here's another thing to come into your thought process in spots like this. What did I mention pre-flop? We're protected within our range.
Goodbye nines.
Pontos has ace queen in his range.
Soheb takes a well-deserved swing.
Yeah.
After that hand, muscling the best hand into the muck. That puts Porbander Walla in the number 1 spot at this table. 61 big blinds, 12.2 million in chips.
Feels good getting that through. Yeah.
Confirmation.
Nice hand.
That Soheb has eclipsed Karam. Ponto's still 3rd in chips. Ian Simpson, the shortest stack, just 7 big blinds. Gonna have to make something happen real soon.
Yeah, I was just mentioning if he has 9s in his range, then he has 10s, so that's a boat. He has queens, that's quads. He has ace queen, that's trips. Like, you can call all of those hands. Like, in theory world, he can still have all those. He doesn't have to reach as deep as 9s. He might look back and feel like he had a right read and maybe should have gone with it, but I think it would have been a big mistake to call off there.
Pontos right back in it. Ace-9.
No, he's not doing the 975 thing with Queen 7. No, you put that curse. You put that down. You put that down right now. You.
A little bit more, actually. A little over $1 million.
This guy's game flowing right now, David. This guy's just seeing.
Yeah, 1.25 million.
It's an extra 50K on there.
Oh yeah, he threw up a little more.
He's in the 2 comma club with this one. That second comma is very intimidating.
And Shaw, maybe not believing what's going on here.
He's terrifying.
With that ace blocker.
He's so scary. It just seems like he really is just looking through
Dialed
people.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lets him live this time.
He wanted to do something. It honestly feels like if Carl had 8 million there, he might have made it like 2 million.
Yeah.
Back to Pontos, who's maybe getting a little tired of getting pushed around right now. Just made a huge fold. This one obviously not as huge. Does let it go.
You're a bad man, Cursus.
You have it?
And I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I know we're all about the live poker right now. And live poker's fun. But let's not forget where our bread is buttered.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
You deserve a massage.
And it's only the biggest online poker series of the year. Scoop 2025. Kicking off May 11th, just days after Monaco. Goes all the way to June 2nd. Main event happened a little bit before the end of the series this time. Didn't want to conflict with some other live events going on. Main event starts Sunday, May 25th. There's going to be 3 days of streaming the main event, as well as Nick Walsh streaming a whole lot of the other events. But that main event is a 10K no limit hold'em event. Oh, it's a 5K no limit hold'em event. I just Ron Burgundy that, but whatever, it's fine. 5K
It's
main
called
event.
a James Hartiganing now.
And you can check out all that on the PokerStars Twitch channel. Speaking of James Hartiganing it, I'm going to dip out for a minute, let James take over here as we see TJ Reed with Pocket Kings on the button.
Net er Laurina nummer 18, som personaliseres. Ja, nu gör jag det. Lite vallande.
He's coming, everyone. He's really excited to get here. Just give him a second. He's just getting in his seat now. He's making sure he's getting his special headphones.
See, the idea is, Griffin, that while that's happening, you're meant to speak, you dingus. I don't know why you muted your microphone. You're not the one who's leaving.
Fair play.
That's the second or third time today I've called you a dingus.
What
New nickname potential. Kings for Reed.
Possibly only the first time to your face.
What do we think Kareem's going to do here, Griff?
He's got the Jack 10. He's got the 10 of hearts. I mean, listen. This is the kind of combo you want to mix in some check raises with when you're facing a button, open, and c-bet.
He also just generally seems like a man to me who doesn't like folding.
Folding is boring. Oh dear. So it is a check raise from Michel Kareem to 1.1 million with very little equity, and TJ probably feeling pretty comfortable / confident on this board.
Yeah, and with heartless kings, I mean, I think justifiable to, at this stack depth, put in a click maybe more often than we would trap, but you know, the times our opponent has a hand like this, it's just real nice to just call and let them turn that equity. Where you think you fall here? You know, if you don't know what your opponent has, David.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think even having if we want to delve really deep into the nerdy stuff, I think having the king of clubs in her hand means her opponent's going to be bluffing less often. So he might check raise a hand like king 6 of clubs, king 4 of clubs or something on the flop as well.
That's real nerdy. Whoa, I didn't think you were going to go that far.
Yeah, so
that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, when we have those two kings, our opponent's going to have value a little bit more. So don't mind the decision to send it.
Nice pickup for Reed, who increases his stack to nearly 3/4 of 10 million.
Yeah, which is around 30 big blinds. The average stack right now being 8.7 million. We are at the 100,000, 250,000 blind level. And confirmation that this will be the last level of the day. Hopefully, we can get down to 3 tables in the next 54 minutes. I mean, it'd be great if we could come back with 16. I think something we were discussing earlier on, David, 2023, the year that you won, we played down to 16 on the Sunday, and it was still a very long day to get down to a winner. So if we come back tomorrow with like 24, 23 players, whew.
Well, we do have a short-stacked Ian Simpson all in here, but I'm putting my money on the guy with the Rockets.
What a beautiful hand to look down at with 6 big blinds.
Yeah, some very justifiable consideration here from Reed, but finds a fold at the cutoff. Good for him. Still 3 players behind. That's a hand he finds in the big blind. Certainly just snap call. Small blind, probably find it in there, but cutoff makes sense. Okay, does Simpson show it?
No.
No.
He doesn't. Pure discipline. I mean, I don't know that people are going to necessarily be affected at this stage of the tournament, Griff, but like, do you ever want to show in those spots so that you get more shoves through later? You're like advertising at the table, look at this, guys, I waited on aces and I found them. And then your ace 6 offsuit gets through next time.
Griffin is a great believer in never showing anything ever.
But yeah, I don't envy you guys tomorrow, James. I'm going to try and come in and do some comms if I'm out of the tournaments that I'm in, but I don't know that I'll be here for the 3 a.m. gig.
Whoa. You know what back-to-back aces mean, James? Time for a little AASMR here at PokerStars Radio.
Curses. Raising here, 550,000.
Now, can you imagine someone wakes up with a combo that they can 3-bet shove or 4-bet shove over this man when if they've got people watching the stream, they're going to be fed back info that he's 3-betting King 9 off and Queen 7 off, and then he gets aces.
And then he gets aces, yeah. Tell you what, Carl Shaw looked like he wanted to 3-bet him even after he'd folded.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Carl Shaw is someone who's been here, seen it, done it, playing these long days, facing the prospect of a very long day 4, final day of this 4-day tournament, which will be played tomorrow. We are going to get down to a champion tomorrow, however long it takes.
Yeah, I think my final table finished at like 1:30 in the morning, and by the time I'd done the winner's interview and the winner's photo and all, like, collected my cash and all the other shit you have to do.
Yeah.
I think I got into the bar at like 4:30 in the morning for some pints. So these guys are going to have a marathon on their hands, and I think it's really important that they factor that into their decisions over the next day or two.
Yeah, and another thing to highlight is we're starting an hour later tomorrow.
Wow. Yeah.
This could potentially be a big pot with this button open with the King Queen, Pontos, 10s, 35 big blinds, too strong to shove.
I don't think it's unreasonable to shove.
Oh, I guess maybe with ICM considerations, right? Where we don't want to get 4-bet shoved by King Queen here.
Yeah. I don't mind 3-bet calling either. It depends who your opponent is, but I don't think it's unreasonable to shove at this depth.
Yeah, I love pushing the small edges in spots like this.
Yeah.
I mean, to get those 6s to shove. I mean, this is the button open. It's going to be hard to raise and not shove with 2 5s through 8s, 9s. Ace 5 suited sometimes, those kind of
Yeah, you love the idea of sixes shoving on you here. You hate the idea of ace-jack shoving on you.
Yeah. King-queen.
Yeah, or the king-queen. Doesn't look like it's a shove.
Very deliberately sized bet.
That exact word was about a second behind you from escaping my mouth. I was going to say, how often is it a bluff when people are counting out their bet that deliberately, you know? I would be quite scared in the button's shoes here.
All in.
Oh my days.
Queen, queen, shove.
He said all in instantly.
And Pontus.
I'm actually happy here, Griff, versus that fast of a shove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Makes the call, and
Likely
that
to be the pairs.
means we are going to see a classic race at the feature table. King, queen versus tens. Tens marginally ahead, tens at risk. Pontus needs this pair to hold to survive.
Yeah, I don't think kings is shoving that fast. I don't think queens is shoving that fast. So I think you're in slightly better shape versus his range once the action takes place that quickly. Oh my God, what a sweat these sort of spots are. Flip a coin for a 15 million stack.
Jack 5-4 on the flop. Tens looking good.
The king often comes on the turn, doesn't it? I just notice it a lot. When you're all in with king-queen, the king will often appear on the turn.
I'm going to get suspicious if this happens again, because you did this to me in EPT London.
I did it to someone here and close to the bubble. Ah.
All right.
So 6 outs.
How you feeling?
6 cards for Pontus to fade. The river is a 4. Popendawala does not hit. That is going to be a double up for Pantaleon Pontus.
Took your advice, Griffey, and just the 47%.
Let's go. Let's
jam.
take the 6% edge, baby.
Yeah.
And
Nice. Look
Pontus
at that smile.
is now going to be playing around 60 big blinds. He has the biggest stack at the feature table. Ian Simpson still the shortest stack
You
at the
come to
table,
Greece.
which is 5 bigs.
You are invited for me.
Thank you, bro.
Will you have like tens in the middle?
You promise?
Yeah, man. At some point.
Not to my home game, only for holidays. Okay?
You have a home game. You have a home game.
Yeah, so
Is it big?
how much?
7.1.
7 point?
125.
I wonder what kind of mix you have with king-queen there in that situation between all of the very justifiable options, whether it be shove, call, or fold, facing that large 3-bet at that stack depth there.
I think it was a small 3-bet, Griff. I think it was 5 blinds.
Wow.
I might have misread it, but I think it was quite small.
Yeah, I think calling that.
I have no idea.
We do have like options open to us, but I would like to have seen. I'm going to try and say it now. Perbandawala. I think that was okay.
Popendawala, yeah.
I would like to have seen him take a little bit more time over that decision. His opponent was very deliberate 3-batting. Took like maybe 70, 80 seconds to do it.
I was not joking.
And Perbandawala was all in within 5 seconds of him doing it. So with 26 left, I think your decisions are due a little bit more consideration than that. Not saying it's a bad play. I think certainly you can jam king-queen there, but I think it's worthwhile thinking about with this much money to play for.
We've got David Lappin on the rail. Parabellum asking, is that Carl Urban on the rail? I'm not going to allow that as a bad lookalike. I'm not going to allow David Lappin to be paid such a a high compliment as to say that he looks like Carl Urban.
I'm just waiting for Ian Simpson's head to explode.
Nice hand to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Simpson all in with King 7.
1.5.
Yeah, about 7 big blinds.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, ace 4 going to be good enough.
I haven't seen the other one.
I know.
Good luck. Good luck, man.
Suited.
Yeah, there's going to be no impartiality here. I want to see Ian Simpson find this 39%.
Bro.
3 clubs.
Hola, bro.
That's not too bad.
It's a good start.
King high flop.
Beautiful.
Now becomes an 84% favorite. Just has to fade an ace. Does not want Barry Greenstein to make an appearance. And he is going to double up. The 2013 Irish Open champion survives.
1.575. 1.575.
What did Joe do to rile the audience up in this way? Chat is out of control right now. Way too frisky for my liking. As we see Ian Simpson now playing 13 bigs, not that far behind. Popendawala playing 17 bigs and Carl Shaw on 18 bigs. They are the 3 shortest stacks of the table. Still 26 players remaining.
What time is the final table even going to begin tomorrow if we maybe end the day with like 22, 23 players? Because
8 p.m.
I think mine started around 8. Maybe like 7, but I envy the guys because of how much money they're playing for, but like
yeah,
I don't envy the endurance test that they're about to undertake.
For sure.
Huh?
So Pontos is open from the cutoff with 3s. Round to TJ Reid in the big blind.
No.
4 deuce off.
Can't all just hit kings.
Maybe the reason we have such a big disparity between first and second is because the organisers are expecting a deal to end the tournament. Everyone gets to 2 a.m. and calls it a day.
So we have just ticked down to 25 players. There's been an elimination from one of the other tables, and that's why Carl Shaw is being balanced off.
Our 25th place finisher. You make your way over to the payout desk over there.
Wait,
Are you alright?
they're pulling a big
Pero
one.
φυλάκι το φαίνεται.
He's got yeah, over there. And
Just to
they're
be
pulling a
clear,
big one.
Carl Shaw is being balanced off. He has
Thank
not
you,
been
Ethan.
eliminated.
Yeah.
He has not finished in 25th place.
Give me a chance.
Been eliminated from the tournament.
We're getting 2 on the players.
I mean, that's one way to get down to a final table quickly. The floor, instead of balancing players off, just going to bust them.
Down to 4. Yeah.
Thank you, Yusuf. Good luck, everyone.
You've done this before.
Still got to move him and then break it. I don't know. I thought it was 24.
Popendawala opening under the gun with ace queen.
Oh, he accidentally busted.
And jacks for Cursus.
It's not a big deal. He doesn't have to leave.
Boston.
You couldn't prize ace queen offsuit from my cold dead hands versus this man's 3-bet range. So I suspect this is going in.
Round 4.
We are going to have ourselves a jack-jack attack.
It's not just his 3-bet range, it's his button in particular, right? It was the king 9, the queen 7. He has been very, very aggressive from the button, very defensive of that position.
Yeah, that's super observant,
abnormally
actually.
So.
Yeah, I hadn't realised, but you're spot on. I think the last 4 orbits is 3-bet the button.
All in.
Porpendawala shoves.
A little over 4.
And Cursus calls. Another coin flip, another classic race.
Look how quickly your fortunes can change as well. Porpendawala had 12 million chips 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now he's all in at risk.
Lost king, queen versus tens. Can he get there with ace, queen against jacks? Let's deal out this board. He's the at-risk player this time. 10-5 deuce.
4.5.
Cursus now a 3-1 favorite. Porpendawala looking for an ace or a queen. Does pick up additional outs on the turn. Has the wheel draw now, so 3s, queens, aces. 10 cards in the deck that can save him.
It could happen.
It could happen, but it doesn't happen. Jacks hold, and Zaheb Porpendawala is eliminated in 25th place. And that is going to take us down to the final 3 tables. One of the remaining tables will break, the players will be reassigned, and we will play on at 24. 3 tables of 8.
I haven't lost 2 flips in a row in like 4 years.
€14,500 for Porpendawala's 25th place finish.
Yeah, I just heard a little bit of commentary from him there, speaking to David Lappin Dara about how he just lost 2 big flips in a row, and that's how fickle the game is.
It is a silly game, David. It's a very silly game.
If he wins both of those, he would own both Cursus' stack and pawn tosses. He would have 27 million right now if he won both of those, and he's out.
I think he opens with Z, right? He opens with Z.
So table 3, which is not our feature table, is the one that's been selected at random to break. So play will pause for a few minutes whilst those players are reassigned and we get new players on the main stage. A reminder of the big payouts, 10 through 1. Tomorrow we are going to hit the 6-figure scores. No score bigger than the 600 grand for the winner. Sizable jump between second and first place. Current payout remains €14,500. We are on a money jump, of course. There is a ladder coming up. 16.7 is what you get if you can make it to 23rd place.
How do you think you'd approach a final table like that, Griffin, with like such a disparity at the top? Would you maybe be a little bit more willing to loosen up?
Yeah, I mean, that's a significant jump between first and second. If you manage to sort of pull away and have that massive chip lead, I mean, negotiations would be interesting as well.
I would like to remind you, Griffin Benger, that you played at a final table where first prize was $1 million and second prize was 0.
It's true. But I was also playing a rugby player for it.
Good point, well made. A reminder, Look, Poker in the Ears is the official PokerStars podcast. Joe and I put out episodes most week. We are on a hiatus at the moment. It feels kind of weird to be advertising Poker in the Ears while we're not putting out new shows. But we're on the road for the Irish Open. We're on the road with EPC Monte Carlo. And then once we are back, once Scoop is underway, you're going to get our full recap of what's gone down here in Dublin, our summary of EPC Monte Carlo, and our Scoop kickoff show with our Scoop correspondent, Howard Swains. Available on all major pod-catching apps, I'm advised. That's what the kids are calling them these days.
They're not.
David, you were a recent guest talking about PokerStars Live League. You and the other David Lappin, analysed a hand that I butchered online.
I think we concluded that your heart was in the right place, but maybe the conviction wasn't.
I think you were both very, very kind. But the most important thing is that you guys were talking about going to Campione for the first PokerStars Open, and the fact that this year we do have the PokerStars Live League, where players are accruing points in every tournament they play, whether it is an Open, whether it's an EPT, any PokerStars event that runs between now and the end of the year. And the Irish Open is included in that league. An opportunity for us to check on the leaderboards, and remember, like the Scoop Player of the Series competition, you've got high, medium and low buy-in tiers. So there has been some change in the low leaderboard since we saw it yesterday. And a reminder, there are prizes for each individual tier, plus at the end of the year, the top 10 in each category, in each tier, will go through to a competition where one player will be selected, and they haven't confirmed what the casting process is going to be yet. One player will be selected to be a PokerStars Pro.
Can we extend that leaderboard to the top 11, please, James?
Is that where you are, David?
Yeah.
So medium buy-in, pretty much the same as when we saw it yesterday. So TJ is going to earn more points. He had a deep run in Campione, and he's in the top 24 here in the Irish Open main event. So chances are he's going to work his way up this leaderboard. Adrian Sorostati was the guy who won the PokerStars Open in Campione. He is currently third in points. Long way to go, guys. It's only April. This runs all the way through to December, and there's a lot of poker to be played between now and then. So this is going to change dramatically.
TJ Reid already being ninth in the medium, though, when he's still in the Irish Open main event. That's going to be a big jump for him.
Absolutely. Now, the high buy-in tier, this is tournaments with buy-ins of 5,000 or greater. Umberto Ruggieri, he is in the top 5 right now. It's Clemens Reuter who sits at the top. Sam Grafton just inside the top 10 right now. Go the Squid. And really, where this is going to start changing dramatically is once we have the first EPT of the year, David, because there haven't been many 5K, 10K, 25K events. We're about to go to Monte Carlo where there's a 100K. The main event's a 5K. The high roller takes place there as well.
Yeah, when I was on Poker in the Years, you set me the challenge of finishing in the top 3 of all 3 leaderboards.
That's
James.
right.
I don't play 100Ks. I don't think I'm going to get the top 3 of the high one.
So sick. That is so sick. But in a good way, right?
I've learned, David Doherty, that in poker it comes down to who wants it more, and clearly you don't want it enough if you're not going to play those 100Ks.
Good flow.
I need to see if I can get my credit card limit increased.
Don't do a spraggy. Hashtag never forget. Okay, so this is the table that's breaking.
Yeah, wait. Yeah. Flow table 4. See it open.
Running well in all ins. Tends to be how you do well in tournaments, right?
Oh, hold on a second. What's happening here? Oh, actually,
Big blind only. Okay, thank you.
there's actually been an elimination from this table. So Gabriel Reimar, who we're looking at now, has just been KO'd in 24th place. So we're already down to 23.
For the next 2 days.
You're not going to shower later? Or in the morning?
Cool little PokerStars cap.
Oh, I see. I see. You got chunks, right?
It was a bold colour choice.
Yeah, nice.
Only 30 minutes left, was it?
Are we playing more levels or is it just the 33? I have no idea.
33 minutes left on the day.
Thank you.
I've got a red baseball cap
Yeah,
myself.
that's it.
You know,
Oh,
I've got a
it's
large
just,
collection of them. I've usually got a different colour at every stall. I've got a red one, and David Lappin asked me not to wear it anymore because it's reminding him too much of a certain cap that you see across the pond.
It's not a case of cap in for Lappin, it's a case of cap off for Lappin.
Yeah.
James, were you here with me when we were doing the podcast name show idea for the
Yes,
Lappin?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I was.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, we had some good bouncing back and
I'm
forth.
looking forward to my favourite episode, which is Capping with Lappin, where he learns how to kill people.
Yes. We have a lot of different napping with Lappin.
I listened in, Griff.
Oh, okay.
I was
You're all caught up.
I was waiting for the F to appear, and you didn't let me down.
yeah. The X-rated episode.
I mean, look at the people I work with. Did you think for 1 second someone was going to bring down the tone?
I'm surprised Stapes didn't come in with it quicker,
Yeah, I
to be
know.
honest.
I was waiting, but
Okay, so you need to move a little bit here.
I leave him all those kind of jokes unless he gives me a big enough opening, and then I have to take it.
I don't think we went for zapping with Lappin, where he uses a taser and takes people out. You know,
or tries to
Laser Quest.
Yeah.
Well, he does look like Carl Urban, right? So he could just use his eyes and zap him with them.
Yes. So we have been joined by some additional players as we continue to follow the action at this table. 23 remaining now in the Irish Open main event.
No, that's kind of a deep cut season 3 boys reference.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen season 4, which is the most recent season.
Yeah, no. Well, you already knew what he was talking about then. I was
Yes.
trying to think, I'm like, does he think Carl Urban is Cyclops? Does he think Carl Urban is Scott Marsden? But no, the reference was clean.
Might not know my movies, I know my TV shows.
Yeah.
Scrapping with Lappin, where he tries out UFC. I like that one, Sam. We give him absolutely no training whatsoever. Just get him in the octagon. Let's see what happens.
Have you seen the only movie that he was a proper leading man?
Carl Urban?
Yeah. Dread.
Oh yeah,
Excellent movie.
That was pretty solid.
It's more than solid. It's one of my favorite little pulp
here's
action movies.
So here's the thing with Dread. It all comes down to which movie did you see first, The Raid or Dread. If you saw The Raid first, Dread's a letdown.
I mean, I guess, but like, there's a lot of interesting differences, you know. But yes, I feel like maybe seeing Dread without having seen Raid
is a better experience. Yeah. Dudikov, ace king of strawberries, gets it through.
I recognise Dmitry Dudikov. I played with him last month in Glasgow, where there was another festivals, another operators event on. And day 1A of the main event wasn't too busy, and I ended up playing Dmitry heads up to try and bag for day 2, and he beat me.
No way.
Yeah, he won day 1, and now he's going to try and win day 4 tomorrow.
What? That's funny.
Yeah, to be fair, when we got the heads up, he had like an 8-1 chip lead, so it was going to be unlikely to catch him.
Ooh, I'm loving Gavin Schickel's hot take there on YouTube. Dread is equally as good as the Raid. Go on, then. That's very difficult to agree, but as a super fan of Dread, I'm willing to entertain it.
Can we have a go at the Croatian player's name, James?
We are talking about Hrvoje Mitrovic.
Wonderful.
Richard Branson / Anthony Worrell Thompson / Rob Beckett lookalike.
I just wanted you to say it first in case I had to say it at some point. I had no idea where to go with that pronunciation. Another one of these spots that can kind of go either way.
Yeah.
Do favour the decision to call. Keep some of those dominated King X and Queen X hands in there. Don't get 6 million chips in against a better hand.
Oh, that's a good one. Another lookalike for Mitrovic. Vincent van Gogh before the kind of like
Ear
self-surgery, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about Vincent van Gogh. I've always found his work to be a bit eerie.
Jesus Christ.
What about Pontos' Carl Urban?
Yeah, it looks much more like than Lappin, to be honest.
Yeah.
1.8.
Blake says, I just joined. How much are the blinds and antes right now? 100K, 250K blinds with a 250K big blind ante, and this is the last level of the day. Just 28 minutes to run on the clock. And this bet from Pontos is going to get a fold from the better hand.
Yeah, attacking that capped range, James. Really nice work, going for an overbet size of 1.8 into 1.3.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Cassis, ace 10 in early position. Raises it. 550,000. Mitrovic with sevens. What's he playing here?
29 big blinds.
Okay. Is it just me, or is this a really awkward stack size for playing sevens?
Very awkward. You think folding's obscene, Griff?
I don't think it's obscene, but I think it's understandable.
Yeah.
I think it's a cautious correction of very specific scenario.
Yeah.
I think we play this as a pure call on the button and probably close to a pure call at the cutoff. Mm-hmm. And then the hijack, I think we can fold about half the time, maybe a bit more even.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on.
Well, sevens are about to get squeezed. A legitimate squeeze, by the way. Karim picking up ace-king in the cutoff.
Yeah, and this is probably part of the problem and why things shift so much between hijack and cutoff and especially button. You know, you still have 4 players to worry about behind that not only can wake up with big hands, but get a queen 7 or king 9 off and decide to squeeze, and it's, you know, you have no recourse with your capped range.
Going to be interested to see what Curses does when it gets back to him. I mean, like 99% of the field, I would expect a snap fold here, but this man doesn't seem like a snap folder to me. Although that little grin suggests to me that he's going to fold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mitrovic's spot with the sevens is interesting, but it's not like the other spot we saw with the nines. He definitely can call here because he could call a hand like jacks here. He might even be able to call a hand like queens here.
Oh, what?
Oh my god, I'm wrong.
What?
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Trivial fold for Mitrovic. Karim all in to call, but I don't think he was 3-betting with the intention of folding to a jam.
Karim, in fairness, has been quite deliberate pre-flop, really choosing to think things through. I mean, I can't imagine he ever folds here. This is going to come off as a bit of a slow roll. I tend to be forgiving in situations like this. 22 left in a major tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
But this is you know, you got to stick with the plan here.
Yeah, he's called relatively quickly.
And it is a domination situation in Kareem's favor. He is set for a huge double up here. A stack of 19.8 million he'll have if Ace-King can hold against Ace-10. If we see some ugliness, he'll be eliminated in 23rd place.
I mean, I've still got my... Well, I don't know, but I did have my hands in the back of my head for a while, and I cannot believe he's done that. I know he's been really out of line, but this is a big, big error.
I can't believe you've done this.
You know what he's thinking right now? Cusses! Just a 10 to fade for now.
Ace-King is
I have no horse in this race, but I don't want the Ace-King to lose this. This would be a brutal way to go.
8-4 or 10, or it's a massive double up to near 20 million for Kareem.
Ace on the river, the king kicker plays, and that is going to be the double up. Kareem with close to 20 million chips. And that's going to leave Curses with around 10 big blinds.
It works until it doesn't. The reckless aggression.
Oh, it's still 1 p.m. Okay.
Well, I can tell you that we are actually down to 22 players. Mitchell Jones has been eliminated. Mitchell lost the flip, got in with fives against David Pollock's ace-jack. So Mitchell cashes out in 23rd place, and Pollock is now playing 16.5 million. And because of that KO, Dmitry Dudikov is going to be balanced off the feature table.
Yeah, it's like you said, Griffin, a spot of that gravity. We both already know what we're doing with Ace-King off if we get jammed on. Not even saying we're thrilled to put it in, but we know we're calling. And Kareem knows he has to 3-bet there, but he might just need that little 30 seconds to prepare himself for what could be a massive pot in his poker career.
Yeah. And you have to wonder, Cursus, with that pretty large 4-bet shove with ace-10, maybe, you know, it's a result of when you're so capable of making light 3-bets and light squeezes, maybe you think other players on the table are going to take more, as many or close to as many spots as you. I don't know if that was necessarily the case with Kareem, and he paid the price.
I almost think it's a little bit of winner's tilt in a sense as well. Like he got it through with a king-9 off, I think, right? He got it through with a queen-7 off.
He got it through with the queen-7 off.
Oh, the king-9 off, he got
didn't.
4-bet. Yeah.
So we are losing Dudikov. He was due to post the big blind, therefore he's the player who will be balanced off.
And by the way, I mentioned these long days. Do not underestimate how easy it is to do something crazy when you're mentally exhausted from 3 straight days of poker. Is it a punt? Yes. Is it a hand that he should have taken a lot longer about if he was going to make such a move? Yes.
Yeah.
But don't underestimate a tired brain at the deep end of a high pressure situation.
Mr. Jingle 666 says, why would the payout from second to first be like that? Never seen anything like that. You clearly weren't around in 2009, my friend. Used to be standard. It's always 2 times second for first. I would agree with you, though. It is unusual in this day and age.
Still down here.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Button's good.
So many lookalikes for Mitrovic, by the way. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jared Harris. I mean, they're not very good, but...
Jared Harris is, like, okay at best. I don't see Philip Seymour Hoffman.
What about David Curtis?
That's not bad.
That's not a bad one, yeah. I'm always jealous of people coming up with these lookalikes, though. Every time I watch a stream, I just can't. I mean, Dave Curtis is a great one, honestly. Like, I just get another good look at him there. Like, yeah, that's an excellent pick out.
This one isn't bad. Fifth Business says William Atherton. You know, the guy who was Peck in Ghostbusters and was the reporter in Die Hard?
Yeah.
David Caruso, another suggestion from Fifth Business. I'm loving this. Basically, Mitrovic looks like everyone. Mick Hucknall, Ronan Keating, Eddie Izzard.
I was taking it a bit far, I think.
Ian Simpson all in.
And Kurse is going to get it in poorly here with the hand he's clearly willing to die with.
Yeah. Ace-10 cost him most of his chips. This one is a much better play. He's just really unlucky. Ian's gotten dominated here.
Curses the at-risk player and the player who is way behind.
He's got 2.6, so yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, they are very close. If Ian Simpson loses this, he'll be left with less than a big blind. That's not fun.
Oh no. Oh my word.
Jeez, what a
wow. The
twisted run.
10 in the window, then you see the jack, then you see the other 10.
Queen of diamonds.
Yep.
She would win this one, and I would the previous one.
Queen of hearts.
I'll take it. The jack is still live though, right?
It is indeed. No jack.
Very unlucky.
So that is a double up for Curses, and it is going to leave Ian Simpson with the proverbial chip and chair. 225k, not quite a single big blind.
Yeah, and everyone said good game to him, thinking he was out. I think even Simpson might have thought that he was out, but is going to be left with a stack. I mean, look, when you're on the button cutoff, things can go down. You can come back with a stack like this. It's obviously unlikely as he poses for the camera a little bit.
Are you broke now, ace jack?
So Ian Simpson on life support right now. Meanwhile, Minvidas Kasoulis has just been eliminated, lost a flip with eights against King Jack. So he cashes for 16,700 euros. We are down to 21, and it was Greg King who had the King Jack in that flip, and King now has a stack of 22.5 million.
That'll do. That'll do.
Let's take a peek at the pay jumps as well. Notice that we are on a money jump, and Ian could make another 2.5k if someone goes out before him.
Well, he's got a whole orbit, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Kareem raising with ace-8 of hearts. He is the table chip leader.
Consideration for Simpson, but as a result, almost surely of the potential pay jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is going to fold here, but it's in a look how quickly he grabbed that chip once he dropped it.
Yeah.
Accidentally
They're not supposed to go in there.
Yeah, I think this is more just taking advantage of the fact that we do not have time banks in the Irish Open main event. He is well aware that there's 2.5k there waiting to be claimed by him. Not taking the piss, but taking a little bit of time.
So just taking the Michael.
Yeah.
Curses with ace-king. All in.
Telling you, he's defensive of those buttons, David. He's putting anything in there.
Another crazy 3-bet. You know, we were joking though when he 3-bet the King 9-0 and then he 3-bet Queens the following orbit, and I pointed out it was exactly the same size. I was saying that he was balanced and praising him for it. He snapped 3-bet Jam Daddy's King in the same speed that he did the Ace 10 off 4-bet.
Would have loved a 3-bet here to 1.3, 1.4 million. Actually, to induce hands like Ace 8 suited to put it in. I mean, he's shown such a propensity to 3-bet the button light. You know, once you have it, you want to make sure you give your opponents an opportunity to put it in.
You have better names, Jack.
Yeah, I don't mind 3-bet shoving the Ace King off specifically, but yeah, I agree with you, especially with his image. I think 3-bet would have been nice to see.
So 13 minutes left on the day, and our chip leader right now is Umberto Ruggieri, who is playing 24.5 million, and there's an all-in at his table. It's Carl Shaw all in here with jacks against Simon Wilson's kings. Low board. And no jack on the river, a clean run out. Kings hold, and Carl Shaw is eliminated in 21st place. That means Ian Simpson gets the money jump, David.
Yeah, the tank has paid off. He's still got another orbit to get it in, but is a fair bit away from getting that second money jump now. I think he'll be pretty happy at getting it in the first thing that resembles a hand now.
So Shaw, who finaled this event in 2023, is 21st place finisher, just shy of 17K. And back to the main stage where Ian Simpson is all in.
I'll tell you what, Carl Shaw's going to have PTSD with those jacks as well, because on the final table bubble, when he FT'd it a few years ago, he lost with jacks versus Jack 10 off, all in pre-flop for heaps. So jacks has killed his Irish Open dream twice in the last 3 years.
I normally say leave it for the bad beat booth, but because it was about someone else.
Someone else's, yeah.
Someone very relevant.
Yeah.
You found a way.
I mean, it was a pretty nasty one.
Yeah. Oh, put this one away, Karim. This is some winner's tilt, as far as I can tell. Don't need to be calling 3 big blinds. I mean, of course, there is the benefit of expecting maybe a check down from O'Donnell here sometimes.
Well, it's not looking too good for Ian Simpson. Running diamonds does not do him any good. His chance of potential triple up currently 8%, as we see O'Donnell bet into a dry side pot.
Have nothing in.
That's a bit more than nothing.
Did you hear that? I have nothing in with the nut no pair.
Yeah, and the backdoor diamonds.
Ian Simpson's best hope is to spike a jack.
Diamond though.
Best card in Jack. We both have diamonds, yeah?
Both have diamonds.
Little 10-ball corner
You need a
pocket.
10 or a Jackie in, I think.
So 2 10s and a single jack he can hit. 3 outs for the former Irish Open champion. And Ian Simpson is our 20th place finisher in the 2025 Irish Open main event. 19 remain, but yes, he clung on to get that money jump. 19,200 euros.
Nah. There was a side pot.
Yeah, GG Ian 8 has a 20th to go along with his 4th and a 1st in the Irish Open. That's some record.
Yeah, and I will also say, David, as former
Big blind.
Irish Open champions, you know, we do feel a connection to people like this. A part of us,
We do.
when they get eliminated, we feel it. Part of us dies as well. So I know I felt the ripple through your body, sort of traveled through yours into mine. James, you can't really understand.
What do you mean a part of you, Doug? You've been dead inside for years.
This and 3 more.
Yeah, I remember you
can't
welcoming
prove
me
that.
into the club, Griffin. It's,
Yeah,
there was like a whole ceremony.
Yeah, there was.
We all stood in a circle.
I know.
There was a little star in there. Like,
Yeah, it was beautiful.
we did a dance around the trophy.
Yeah, you refused to do it naked though, unfortunately, which is
Yeah.
probably more traditional.
Your wooden trophy caught fire but didn't burn.
yeah. There is still a little singe on it, but it made it out.
Oh yeah, you did bring that trophy here, didn't
Hell
you?
yes,
a couple
I
of
did.
years
The
ago?
first time I tried to defend my title, one of the double. You know what I really regretted about that was not taking a photo on the throne in the crackdown. What was I doing?
Yeah.
I brought I almost brought it back this year just for the photo. Instead, I took a worse version of the photo without the trophy this year. Karim with the ace king.
Yeah, Mitrovic open with ace deuce. Karim has 3-bet. And everyone's favorite lookalike candidate.
Above average. We've only 3 hands left.
Just a little slap on the wrist, Mitrovic. It's okay, buddy. You got the ace deuce off. You're on the button. You felt like you had to raise, but come on.
So while they were playing that hand, they did draw the last few hands to be played. And yet 3 is the number. 3 more hands to play, and then the day will be in the books.
I'll see it later. You can.
Ace king, bluff.
That's no bluff.
What do they say? All good things come in threes? Or is it bad things?
King again?
Let's find out.
Just see it on the stream.
That's what I'm saying, so why lie?
Yeah, ace king.
Would be funny, yeah. If he was
The funny thing about it, you never say anything about your hands, but I have to say every hand.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask you.
You did.
No, I did.
Yeah, but you commented.
The way you said it, I thought you were joking.
But I asked politely, and he was like,
Hey, ace
yeah,
king. Hey,
I really thought you were joking because you said bluff.
he said bluff.
Ace king is a bluff, which is why I thought you were joking.
Yeah, it's a bluff. Ace high.
I meant nothing by that. I'm so sorry.
No.
Let's try again, Mitrovic.
5.
Oh, is that going to be real to call? That was quite
like
late
6,
after the chip was
5,
placed in.
It was a little bit stringy, but I think they can let it go.
Was it 1 million chip?
No, he put out a 5, but the kind of chip was being pushed forward as he said 5.
But what's the problem if it's a 5 chip? Or it could have been a limp, you're saying. Was it a one?
If he puts out a single chip without saying anything, it's a call. How long have you been playing
this
poker
game?
for?
Oh, that's right. That's a good point.
Like a kid.
You guys, this is so us. Pontos.
Poor Mitrovic.
Yeah.
I shouldn't play anymore in these last 3 hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's
He
getting
can
hands he
jam
needs
dog.
to raise,
Ace
but
king.
He's trying to.
So 2 more hands to play. I can count.
Pontos wasn't for inducing those 10s there, was he? He just wants to lock that stack up for day 4.
Is there a redraw tonight?
good question.
Because if there isn't, why didn't they just play to the end of the level?
They are playing to the end of the level, aren't they?
No, they paused the clock with 10 minutes to go and they're playing 3 more hands. You normally only do that to avoid people stalling, to avoid playing the blind ahead of a redraw tomorrow.
yeah.
If there's no redraw, you play to the end of the level.
Yeah, good point.
After the hand, maybe nothing.
Very perceptive. I wouldn't have caught that, but yeah. I don't think there's a redraw. I don't see why there would be, but they don't do redraws now, right? Final 3 tables. It's just table breaks, so it's weird.
There's some random things that happen. Anyway, what are we waiting for Pontus?
One of us have a big stack for tomorrow. For me? For me, for you, for one of us. Monster.
I know I can see the cards here, but I don't believe for a second Aces would say this.
Let's see a good old flashing flop. Pardon me. No, last hand of the night. Come on, we're playing.
Yeah, come on,
I hate this.
man. We cannot
I hate
fold
this.
a pair.
One more hand. One more hand.
I hate this.
I did just say, Griff, like he 3-bet jammed the 10s when he was in the small blind earlier, but he got all those chips.
Yeah.
He 3-bet called. So like, this is the lock-up that you often see, right? He's created a mental bubble in his head of day 4, and he stopped playing hands in the way that he would normally play them because he's attached to the stack now. He just wants it in the bag. Curses has folded a suited king.
The min raise. What is this guy? What is this guy? Voodoo? Poker voodoo? What is this magic? Those are two very playable hands against, frankly, an older gentleman who players, regs might be more inclined to think they can push around. I love it. Scared him off.
Okay, we have got one more hand to play tonight. Last hand of day 3. And unless something really funky happens...
That was pretty funky, I gotta say.
That was.
That was a double funk.
I'm talking about ultra funky. We're going to be coming back with 19.
I would like to wager that if Cursus gets dealt King 3 suited under the gun tomorrow, he's opening it. And yet he just folded the big blind
what's
with
going
it.
on? He 3-bet the Queen 7 off with an opener and 2 people behind, but he can't defend the King 3 suited?
Are you aware of the expression, don't look for logic where there is none?
I'm so impressed by how confounding poker players can be, How unpredictable. It's just this, like,
Is this a 1 million
metaphor for the human mind. I just,
Okay. I thought I just 4x'd the button.
Pontos making it 700k from the button.
Why is he now? Why is he folded a pair if he's like locked up? And now he's opening Jack 9 off. I'm confused.
Should I just rewind to the thing I said about logic?
See, James has been doing this even longer than I have.
Yeah.
He's seen it all.
I didn't hear you.
What a withered soldier,
No,
the way he
tell me
talks,
again.
huh? Like a general who's just been to too many flops.
So action has concluded at the feature table. We're just going to see if play has stopped at the other 2 tables as well. I can tell you that it hasn't. There is action in the field. In fact, there's been an all-in from Rico Kovarin. He has shoved pre, and the decision is now on Simon Wilson. You see the triangle in front of the fin. Wilson with the decision.
This looks like a pinned call to me, Griff. Which way are you going? He doesn't want to call, but he thinks he has to. That's what I'm going with here on that facial expression.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a fold to me.
I don't know how many chips it is. He's in the big blind, right? UTG's jammed. This is like. You're right.
Fuck me.
Turns out he had FK all.
Yeah. Well, unlucky man then.
Next place, table 2.
Okay, well that means that play has now concluded at all 3 tables.
Your name, your chip count, your country, your ID on the bag.
And that means,
And if you still have your
Mackenzie, I'm trying to speak here. 19 players get to bag and tag and come back for the final day.
It wasn't a very good hand, but a really weak.
So let's check on the chip counts, the players we were watching during the last 2 hours of the day. When they come back tomorrow, there will be a couple of shorties. TJ Reid and Mitrovic playing sub-20 big blind stacks. Decent stacks for Kareem and Pontos coming into the final day. Tomorrow, 19 have to become 1. We played down from 3 tables to 2 tables to the final table to a winner with the big cash money on the line. Tomorrow we are going to hit those 6-figure scores when we get to the final table. The runner-up, 316,000 euros. First prize in this record-breaking Irish Open main event, 600,000 euros. And a reminder, we are on air slightly later tomorrow. If you want to check out what's happening here in Dublin, go to the PokerStars blog for updates and stories for the Irish Open. But if you want to join us on stream, We start at 1:30 in the afternoon local time. That's 2:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time. So an hour later than today. And hopefully we will see you there. Thank you, David. Thank you, Griffin.
You're welcome. Great
Thank
time.
you.
From the entire broadcast team here at the Irish Open, I'm James Hartigan saying good night from Dublin. We'll see you tomorrow.